YouTube, my name is Mesa Sean, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Alright folks, let's have the talk. Let's have the conversation and get some rigorous, vigorous debate in the comment section. How do you feel about Bungie bringing back Destiny 1 exotics to Destiny 2? Now, the reason why I want to have this discussion is because when I look at the comment section, whether it's dating back from Destiny 2 when it first launched, or from previous DLCs, when Bungie brings back Destiny 1 exotics, whether they were fan favorites or whether they were exotics that some people liked and others could care less about, 50% of the comments are saying, "Oh my god, I am so hyped, I can't wait to get my hands back on my beloved XYZ, looking at you, Outbreak Prime." And then the other half of the folks in the comment section are, Bungie is reskinning things, they can't come up with any new ideas, so we're going to talk about that. I'm going to share my opinions on it, and then actually, we're going to revisit the collections in Destiny 1, and I want to talk about some exotics from Destiny 1 that, you know what, guys, I would like to see come back to Destiny 2. So let's go through my take first, and if you're seeing screenshots in the background, that's from a press kit I got, and if you want to see a full breakdown of all the screenshots and what I think and how the new activity, the Menagerie, is going to work, click the link in the description or annotate it on screen. My opinion is, I like the fact that they're bringing Destiny 1 exotics back. And hear me out first. Here's the way I look at it. One, it brings hype. People are very excited about these things. Two, I've got to be frank, and when we go through the exotic blueprints from Destiny 1, I'm going to say, in my opinion, a lot of the Destiny 1 exotics were better than the Destiny 2 exotics. Now, granted, when I made my video going over my tier list, ranking all of the Destiny 2 exotics, you know, a lot of you guys ragged me that it wasn't a proper list. What do you know about? Or is this guy on something? No, a lot of the Destiny 2 exotics I frankly don't use. I've got my handful of Destiny 2 exotics that I use, and the rest are kind of, yeah, I don't really use them that much. You know, when it comes to Destiny 2, what am I using? Outbreak Prime, I use Crimson, I'll mess around with the Risk Runner, the Huckleberry, Sleeper, Whisper of the Worm, Wardcliff Coil, and sometimes Skyburner's Oath. That's about it. The rest of them, they kind of just sit in my vault. I kind of feel like in Destiny 1, there was so many more exotics that, from a fun factor, you know, I wanted to just go into patrol and use them for fun. I feel like in Destiny 2, some of the exotics, they don't stack up in their usability, and sometimes they don't have the fun factor. Now, granted, I could not imagine what it would be like to create an exotic. If you sat me down and say, "Hey, Sean, create an exotic weapon, create an exotic perk, create any perk," I wouldn't be able to do it. And I do fancy myself a creative person. I am a musician. I've written hundreds of songs and recorded albums and demos and stuff for my previous bands, but to be that creative to come up with exotics, nah. Can't do it. Not going to happen. I don't have the talent for it. But I think Destiny 1's exotics, they were better. And I kind of think we're in like a holding pattern right now in terms of waiting for Destiny 3, really. We don't know what's going to happen in September, whether we're getting an expansion or an annual pass. And so Season of Opulence is looking like it's going to be a really fun summer. Lots of things to do and hopefully some really cool gear to get. And also some returning exotics. And we'll see how this summer pans out. But I know I'm babbling here and I'm going off at a tangent, but I really want to go over these exotic blueprints and talk about some more exotics from Destiny 1 I personally would like to see come back, but you let me know in the comments section. One, are you cool with them bringing back exotics from Destiny 1, or do you really want them to solely focus on brand new exotics, stuff that we've never seen before, and then come back and say, "I don't really like using them, I'm using the Destiny 1 exotics they brought to Destiny 2, or are you on board with, hey, you know what, bring a whole bunch of these back, they were good weapons, they were good exotics, we have a nostalgia effect, and I like it." Let me know in the comment section. So here we're in the blueprints, you know, and I gotta admit, guys, you know, the Adept Weapons from Age of Triumph and in Destiny 1, these are my favorites, you know, and I'm actually not even going to talk anything about them because Atheon's Epilogue, Fatebringer Adept, Praetor's Timepiece, Vision of Confluence, Fang of Uryut, Oversoul Edict, What else? Oh, Abyss Defiant. I was the only person that liked that thing. Guys, I absolutely loved all of those, but we're not going to talk about those. Let's talk about the original exotics, not just the raid weapons that were turned into exotics. First off, Supercell. I would love to see this come back. This was my jam at the end of Destiny 1. For some reason, this was what I was using in the Crucible. Would you believe it? I think it was the only one using an auto rifle, and namely, using this auto rifle in the Crucible. This thing I would use this to just hose people down. It had terrible impact, really nice rate of fire, but this thing I would waste people with. So this is the one that was all about arc, right? It was the only arc exotic that we had for a primary slot. Arc projectiles have a chance to chain lightning when enemies are close together, and then also you have bolts from the blue. Double kills with this weapon charge a small amount of super energy and return ammo to the magazine. So great weapon, and they had some really cool ornaments. So personally, yeah, I would like to see the Supercell come back. All right, Hardlight, you are already back, and I don't really use you at all. I still feel like they need to find a better way to switch elements rather than just pressing square on PlayStation, whatever button it is on Xbox, because I feel like every time I do that, you're reloading, and I don't know, it's a waste of time. Source Regime is back, and I need to get the Catalyst to really give you an accurate assessment whether I like it or not. Monte Carlo, I personally didn't really care for this in Destiny 1, however, I know a lot of my friends did like this thing. Remember, this thing was a PlayStation exclusive originally. Dealing damage with this weapon reduces your melee cooldown and also grants you a chance to fully charge your melee ability with each kill, and it also had hipfire on it, which does not make sense. Well, yeah, I don't know. This did fire pretty fast, so you kind of could use it like a mini submachine gun. The first curse, yeah, remember this thing? Wow, this thing brings back memories. Had Deadeye, bonus to range, stability, and movement speed when aiming down sights. And then we had the first curse perk. First precision kill of the magazine refills it, granting bonuses to range and stability until the play reloads. Another thing while I'm on this topic, and we got triple tap too, is I love the old layout of the perks here. Like, the perk system. I don't like the frames, like the whole frame system within Destiny 2. And I remember on a podcast, I believe it was John Wisniewski and Josh Hamrick, they're no longer with Bungie, they were on Crucible Radio, and they mentioned that when you had the frame, that would be over here, the frame of the weapon had some of the perks from Destiny 1, such as Counterbalance and a few other perks like that rolled into the frame. Not a big fan of that. I think it should, like, legendary weapons should be broken down into the system where it's just a whole bunch of different bars, and any of these things can roll on that legendary weapon, including things that will affect your range and bring back some of those perks and just take them out of the frames. I don't know, that's me. Alright, last word, you are back, and I don't use it. You Crucible guys, do you use it? When I was grinding out my Luna's Howl, I saw it a few times, but not that often. Moving along, Hawkmoon, I am convinced is coming back this summer, as well as the Eyasluna, the legendary version of the Hawkmoon, and I hope when it does come back, it comes back just as good as it was when it first came out in Destiny 1. It felt a little neutered at the end of Destiny 1. Luck in the chamber, one random bullet in a magazine causes considerable bonus damage, and then you get 2 more of those bullets with holding aces. So Hawkmoon, I can't wait to use that thing. No time to explain. Remember this? The exotic version of the Stranger's Rifle. You had Headseeker, you had Full Auto, and you had Rewind Again. Precision hits are immediately returned to the magazine. I don't want to see this one come back. I never really got into this, and I don't think a lot of you guys did either. I remember using it a little bit in PvE. If you had a boss or yellow bar with a big crit spot, yeah, you could lay into them over and over and constantly get your pulse bullets back, but I don't know. I really didn't dig that weapon too much, nor use it. Alright, bad Juju. Man, I really hope this thing comes back. And man, this was my first exotic in Destiny 1. It was, yeah. Because remember, guys, we had exotic quests right at the beginning of Destiny 1, and they had to randomly drop from turning in bounties. And this was my first exotic. So, full auto pulse rifle, you had hip fire on it, and you had string of curses. After each kill, this weapon will reload instantly and increase the damage for a short time. Kills will help charge your super. So low impact and high rate of fire, but man, we all love this thing, and this thing would give you your super back really quickly, especially if you're taking out ads. So let's all say a prayer in the comment section. Bad Juju, you need to come back. Red Death, one of my favorite weapons, favorite looking weapons, favorite everything, favorite sounding weapon, favorite perk weapon in the game for a short time during the Clever Dragon Red Death Pulse Rifle meta. And then they nerfed pulse rifles, and this weapon was never the same. Now we have Crimson, and Crimson is a good alternative, and I love Crimson in Destiny 2, but I don't know, just Red Death, man, I love it. I missed it. I miss it. Well, it has unflinching, it's got snapshot sights, and it had each kill heals you and speeds up your reload. But I would like it to come back, but it would defeat the purpose of actually having good old Crimson. So, Red Death, you're probably not going to come back. All right, the Boolean Gemini. Man, I remember this one. This one was a long quest line through Petrovenge and Varix. Remember this thing? So it had high caliber rounds, oversized rounds built to stagger targets and leave them reeling. Their mass makes a weapon harder to handle. Had unflinching, and then also you had these two right here. You had one way, bonus agility on precision kills, stacks up to 3 times, and then you had or another, bonus armor on non-precision kills, stacks up to 3 times. So you can kind of pick and choose. And then I think I would go with Perfect Balance. No, I'd go with Hammer Forged to give me some more range. Yeah, Hammer Forged, and I would go with Smooth Ballistics. I would be cool if Boolean Gemini came back. That was a cool weapon. The good old touch of Malice. I hope this doesn't come back because I feel like this weapon was specifically made for the raid for King's Fall, and I think it should stay there. Although if the September DLC is based around going back to the Dreadnought, which we don't know, but the ending cutscene for Destiny 2 alludes to that we're going back to the Dreadnought, or at least hopefully we'll face Savathun. I don't know, so I don't know. I'm not going to talk about Touch of Malice. I don't think it should come back. All right, moving along up here, Jade Rabbit has already come back, and I still don't use it because I cannot stand the handling on it. The good old Warlock exotic, the Talak. Remember this thing? When you would get your super, here, let's check it out, Overflow. I'm probably saying that wrong. Is it Talalak? Talak. I'm calling it Talak. Overflow. This weapon has better handling, rate of fire, and stability while the wielder's super is charged. Yeah, this is a really cool weapon, man. This thing would not move when your super was full. Very, very cool weapon. I would like it to come back, but I'm not crazy about it. The Multitool already came back. The Thorn came back. The Kvastov. Now, this thing could stay in Destiny 1. Remember when we first got the exotic version of the Kvastov and it had all of these perks? I'm like, oh my god, this thing's going to be amazing. And then we got it, and I don't think it really was that great. Or at least I never used it. I don't know about you guys. All right, Outbreak Prime, you're back. I love you. Thank you, Bungie, for bringing that back. Necro Cheese. Oh my god, did I love this thing in PvE and in PvP. Especially in PvP. Nothing was more fun than hosing people down and then watching them explode with the Cursed Thrall. So it had Cursebringer. Kills with this weapon trigger a Cursed Thrall explosion. And you also had Cascade. Melee kills automatically reload a portion of this weapon's magazine. And you had Zen Moment on this thing. So as long as you're laying into a target, you're going to increase your stability. And believe me, you needed that. Because this thing had no impact, max rate of fire, and you could also throw on Fitted Stock, which helped a little bit, but it really was all about Zen Moment. Getting on your target and laying into them and getting them to explode. The Adept Weapons, as I mentioned before, probably the greatest weapons in the game, and we're going to leave you there. All right, moving along here. All right. Oh, and I forgot to talk about, Genesis Chain, loved you. Yeah, I wish Genesis Chain would come back, but we're not going to go there. All right, moving along. Let's go with special weapons here. All right, so Telesso, you're back. Plant C. Yeah, Plant C was a fun one. And in fact, one of the screenshots, actually, it looks like the Guardian's holding a Plant C, or it could be a Pocket Infinity. We'll talk about Pocket Infinity in a little bit here. But yeah, remember Plant C. The main perk is Plant C. Charge and equip times are very short immediately after weapon swap. And you had hip fire. Yeah, this thing was a lot of fun in PvP, not so much in PvE. Yeah, I would use it in PvP a lot to try to melt people. All right, Queensbreaker's bow came back as Queenbreaker. Chaperone came back. Invective. Remember this thing? This thing got quite annoying for a long time. Full auto shotgun, but it would regenerate its ammo. That's I think a lot of people hated that fact because you never had to worry about picking up that those green ammo crates actually in Destiny 1. You had Final Round also. The last round in the magazine deals bonus damage. You know, that would be a cool perk I would like to see come back to Destiny 2. All right, what else? Moving along here. What do we got? The universal remotes. When folks would want to run double shotguns. They could run, Universal Remote in their primary and run some other shotgun in their secondary. Their Matador 64 or Party Crasher when Party Crasher was still good at the end. Crowd Control. Kills with this weapon grant bonus damage for a short time. And what else? Universal Remote. Range and precision damage increases greatly while aiming down sights. This is a weird weapon. Yeah, to me this was a PvP weapon, not so much a PvE weapon, or at least I never used it in PvE. The good old 4th Horseman. Now, even though it had terrible range, do you guys remember when it was Arc Burn? Remember, we had burns in Destiny 1, not singes, Arc Burns. When it was Arc Burn, you would go in there with 3 folks with 4th Horsemans to the Nightfall, and you would just boom, 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 just insta-melt any boss. So the main one of the perks was Thunderer. This weapon could be fired in full auto. You had Final Round also on this weapon. And then you had Return to Sender. Kills with this weapon have a chance to grant bonus ammo into the magazine. We had Fitted Stock, we had Hand Loaded. You obviously put Hand Loaded to give you just a little bit more range. But yeah, 4th Horseman, yeah, you were fun. You were a fun gun. Let's see what else we got here. We have Lord of Wolves, you're back. Good old Greg's Promise. Yes, that's a dumb joke. Greg's Promise. This is a fun gun. I like this one for PvP, not so much PvE, because it felt like you would just aim this near someone and the bullets would just track onto them. So you had reserve ammo. This weapon always has ammo on respawn. You had Grave Robber. Melee kills with this weapon. Melee kills while this weapon is equipped have a chance to refill the magazine. And then you had shock rounds, high ricochet rounds with enhanced target acquisition, so more aim assist with this one. Snapshot, Field Scout, and perfect balance. Greg's Promise, you know what? If we had some sort of more Fallen DLC or something, I would like to see that one come back. Zen Meteor, this one was a PlayStation exclusive for a while, and it was a pretty cool weapon. I didn't really use it too much because back around that time, what was I using? I was too busy. Yeah, I was using Black Spindle. I think everyone was using Black Spindle. But Zen Meteor, this one was an interesting one. So the main perk was Dynamite. Well, one of the perks, Dynamite. Grants explosive rounds. Rapid kills with every round in the clip. Load an extra higher damage round for 5 seconds. You have Underdog. This weapon grants a boost to range and handling when your health was low. Not really useful. Then you had With a Laser Beam. The extra round from Dynamite causes a massive explosion. Yeah, that was pretty fun, because you would just lay into, like, you would get Dynamite to proc, and then you would lay into a huge ogre, and you would watch that huge explosion. Zen Meteor, would I like to see this come back? Maybe to give us some more variety in snipers? Yeah, sure, why not? Patience and Time. This was a fun one to use when it was Arc Burn. If you had something Arc related and I wanted to use a sniper for a Nightfall or the weekly heroic strikes, I might use this. So this one had Third Eye. Radar stays active when you're aiming down sights, but it also had Patience and Time, which means you gain an active camouflage while aiming down sights, which means you go invisible. And I remember when this first came out, a lot of people were running around with this thing in PvP, yeah, going invisible. And remember Custom Optics? Yeah, that was a kind of unique perk. Precision Glass for lower zoom and a wider view. Fitted Stock and Field Scout. Patience and Time, just to maybe give some more variety to snipers, unless they can come up with some cooler exotic snipers. Sure, I'll take it. The Trespasser. I remember when sidearms like the Wormwood from Future War Cult were on a rampage in the Crucible. Yeah, this thing was annoying for a while. Main perk, Be the Danger, and we have this weapon fires bursts of bullets with deadly accuracy. You had Relentless Tracker, so that pretty much would give you the Night Stalker perk. Kills with this weapon would grant enhanced motion tracker resolution for a short time. And then you had Reloading after a kill causes the next burst to be longer and a more powerful super burst. So Trespasser, no, you could stay in Destiny 1 because you were annoying then, and I don't want you to become annoying now in PvP. The Hereafter, I'm not even going to talk about it. I did not like that thing at all in Destiny 1, and I don't think I would like it in Destiny 2. Black Spindle, you are already back as the Whisper of the Worm. No Land Beyond, I would love to see this come back, and I think a lot of Crucible people would like to see this come back. In fact, I don't watch a whole lot of PvP videos, but nothing was more fun than, well, watching PvP streamers make montages with the No Land Beyond. And even I sniped, yeah, believe it or not, yeah, I sniped in Destiny 1. In fact, my sniping go-to weapon was the longbow. My god roll, yeah, I had the SLR-10, triple tap, outlaw, and snapshot. And I actually had Do I have it on me? I don't have it on me. I had a God Roll LDR as well. I would love to see No Land Beyond come back. This thing was amazing, and I actually learned how to use it and was not bad, even though I have terrible aim. So, No Land Beyond, you got Mulligan, missing a shot, has a chance to return ammo directly to the magazine, and you had the Master. Increased precision damage, kills briefly increased damage against the next target. Alright, it would be really cool to see that. Icebreaker and Vex Terrificlass. Okay, two of my favorite weapons from Destiny 1, and I have to be frank, I'd love to see both of them come back. Icebreaker, man, that's all we used for the longest period of time, and we were so happy at the, I think it was year 3 it came back, during the Dawning, that we got the Icebreaker back. So once again, you had Mulligan, missing a shot, as a chance to return ammo directly to the magazine. Cannot be reloaded, regenerates ammo over time. Icebreaker's victims spontaneously combust, dealing damage to others nearby. Very cool weapon. I would like to see it come back. Vex, I would like to see it come back the way it was, not initially when it came back. Remember, when it first came out, this thing was completely broken. No, not that Vex Terrificlass. The Vex Terrificlass, that's my little joke, because I used to call it the Terrificlass, because this is my favorite gun for PvE and PvP. I want it to come back like the way it was in the middle of, I'd say, year 2. I think that's when it was. And then they nerfed fusion rifles, and because this is a fusion rifle, it got hit with the nerf and became terrible and useless in both PvE and PvP. So the first perk, this weapon has no charge time. It fires a single bolt with each trigger. You had Zen Moment down the middle. You could throw on some more range with Send It, and you had Crowd Control. Kills with this weapon grant bonus damage for a short time. So, man, I would love to see this thing come back. And you know what? What if look, the Leviathan for Season of Opulence is crawling with Vex. What if they pulled a 0-hour Whisper of the Worm Take an Anomaly scenario where we go on some crazy quest like to get the Outbreak Prime and the Whisper of the Worm, and we get the Vex Mythoclass? Would you be happy? I certainly would. Now, this video is dragging on too long, and I don't want to keep too much of your time, so Gjallarhorn, I think it should stay in Destiny 1. I don't think it should come back for Destiny 2. If it comes back in Destiny 2, that's all anyone's going to use. We don't need to talk about it. Nemesis Star, never liked you. Super good advice. I never got along good with this thing, although it was fun to use this on the oracles in the Vault of Gloss. You had crowd control and you had super good advice. Missed shots may be returned to the magazine. Landed shots may be replaced in the magazine from your reserve. So kind of fun, whatever. Alright, so Nova, Mortis, and Abaddon were the same thing as the Thunderlord, except in different elements. What about good old Pocket Infinity? This thing never got brought forward, and we still have no idea why. This thing was good in PvP. So the main perk was fires in full auto mode and has a chance to return rounds that miss in the magazine. This thing would kick like a mule, though. Like when you would lay into someone, you better aim low and let your actual reticle go up as the full auto shots go out from the fusion rifle. So you had hand loaded, yeah, you could go with perfect balance, you had surplus, expect to find more ammo for this weapon, increases your carried ammo capacity, and oh yeah, remember the old school, you'd have to upgrade all this stuff? Alright, we're not going to go there. Alright guys, what else we have to go here? Pretty much that's all I covered. Fourth Horseman, yeah, we covered that. We didn't talk about the swords. Alright guys, let's talk about Dark Drinker. I'm convinced that Dark Drinker is coming back. Yes, the sword, alright, I will admit, yes, the sword that I was talking about yesterday, yes, that does not look like Dark Drinker. I had a gazillion tweets at me yesterday. I get it, okay. That's probably Eternity's Edge reskinned with some sort of Leviathan theme. Okay, I'm acknowledging it. You can stop tweeting at me about it, but I'm still convinced. And maybe I should make some PayPal bets with you guys. No, that's a dumb joke, because it's the end of the video, and I'm babbling. I think Dark Drinker's back, and I think, you know what, I would be fine if all 3 of these swords came back. I like them all. Raise Lighter, I loved Boltcaster. It was so much fun throwing those arc blasts at people in the Crucible, as well as in PvE, and Dark Drinker was the greatest for taking down Axis and Wrath of the Machine, and fun gun, yeah. The sword that you see in the trailer looks like, well, you have the effect of Raise Lighter when you do that upward slash. So, pretty fun sword. I would be cool if all 3 of them came back. Dragon's Breath, I don't know. You know, they kind of upped this thing towards the end where it had napalm on it. Yeah, Napalm release trigger after weapon fire to drop a solar damage napalm canister. I don't know. My problem with this thing was it only had 1 in the magazine, and every time you would fire it, you'd have to reload it, and it was slow. Whereas with good old Gjallarhorn, you would just pop off 2 Gjallarhorns and then do a quick reload. Gjallarhorn had a really pretty good reload speed. So, all right, that's it, guys. So, yeah, here we are. We're in the old Destiny 1 tower before the collapse. So, that's it, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And do me a favor. Well, first off, let me a hashtag made it to the end if you did make it to the end. And do me a favor. Drop a like in this video only if you see fit. Follow me on Twitter at Mesa Sean. Check out my stream, usually and always on YouTube. And that's it. I am out of here like Vladimir.